Hello everyone, welcome to Home Cooking with me Hema Subramanian. Diwali is special for us and we always enjoy making those special sweets and savories at home. Today I'm going to share 4 wonderful sweet recipes that you can easily make at home and enjoy it with your family and friends. So let's get started and check them out. For the Ghee Mysore Pak, first we're going to roast the gram flour, that is the besan. For this recipe I've taken 1 cup, this is a 250 ml cup. Keeping the flame on medium, just roast it till you get a nice aroma. So make sure you roast it on medium flame, you don't want to burn the gram flour. Roast it for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes the besan or the gram flour is toasted well. The raw smell is not there anymore, so make sure you don't have any raw smell after roasting it. Turn off the stove and keep this aside. Transfer the roasted gram flour or the besan. We're going to sieve this to avoid any lumps and you get a nice smooth gram flour. So next we're going to melt the ghee. For this recipe I've taken 150 ml of ghee. This is nice Shuddh Desi ghee. Transfer the sieved gram flour or besan to another bowl. Now pour the melted and cooled ghee. Once the ghee comes to room temperature, just pour half of it. Just mix it all in. We are going to gradually incorporate the ghee into the gram flour. So you can see the besan mixture is nice and creamy and smooth. This is how we want it. Now keep this aside. Next, prepare the tin to set the Mysore Pak, because once you make the mixture, you'll have to immediately pour it into the tin or a tray or a plate, whichever you're using to set the Mysore Pak, because it will start taking shape immediately, so you don't want to delay that process. So make sure you grease all the sides with enough ghee. So the remaining ghee, this is just about a teaspoon. I'm just going to pour it into the tin because the mixture will start absorbing the ghee while it's setting. So when you release it from the tin, it will come out nice and smooth. Now we'll start making the Mysore Pak. Next I'm going to make the sugar syrup. For this, to the pan add 1/4 cup of water. For 1 cup of besan or gram flour, I've taken 1 cup of sugar. Once the sugar is completely dissolved, transfer the besan and ghee mixture into the pan. Keep the flame on low while doing this. So mix it all in, make sure everything is well combined. So now we're going to gradually start combining the ghee. So you can see the ghee gradually gets absorbed into the mixture. So continue to slow cook on low flame. So we'll be cooking this at least for about 10 minutes on low flame. So you can see the ghee is completely absorbed. So as the ghee is absorbed into the mixture, I'm going to add a little more. So the ghee is absorbed beautifully into the mixture. It's become nice and thick. You can see how easily it's sliding off. And it's just forming a mass. So this is the consistency that you want. Once you get this consistency, just transfer it into the prepared tin and let it set. Just finally going to add a little ghee on top. So I've let it sit for a couple of hours for the Mysore Pak to set. can see it's absorbed all the ghee beautifully. Now let's release the side and take it out of the tin. For the carrot halwa, take a nice wide saucepan or a kadai. To this I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of ghee. So for this recipe I've taken half kilo of carrots. They have been grated, so I'm just going to measure it in cups now to see how many cups. 2, 3, 4. So I'm using 4 cups of grated carrots. Now this is half kilo. The carrots are cooking beautifully. I'm getting a lovely aroma. And every time you're making Gajar Ka Halwa, that is a carrot halwa, make sure the carrots are nice and fresh. Cook for about 10 minutes on medium flame. Keep mixing it because you don't want to burn the carrots. So once the carrots are half cooked, I'm going to add the milk. Now I'm going to pour 1.5 cups of boiled and cooled milk. Cook till the milk is evaporated completely. So if you see, the milk is completely evaporated. To this I'm going to add 3/4 cup of sugar. Now you can adjust the sweetness according to your taste. So you can see after adding the sugar, the color of the carrots have also changed. It's become a little darker. It's released a little moisture as well. So you need to get all that moisture out. So continue cooking till all that excess moisture is evaporated. So at this point you have to keep stirring it continuously. Now I'm doing this on a high flame. When the moisture is almost evaporated, I'm going to add half teaspoon of cardamom powder, a few strands of saffron. This is optional, so if you want you can add. Give it a quick mix. So if you see, the moisture is completely evaporated now. Now is a good time to add the ghee. Now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of ghee. You can adjust the ghee according to the quantity of carrots you're using. Some of you may not like it too rich, so then you can cut down on the ghee a bit. But if you do like it nice and rich, the more the ghee, the better. Carrot halwa is coming together beautifully. Finally, I'm going to finish it off by adding some chopped nuts. Add some pistachios, some cashew nuts, some sliced almonds. Turn off the stove. Gajar Ka Halwa, the carrot halwa is ready to be served. For the Suryakala, first we're going to make the dough. To a bowl, take 2 cups of maida, that is the all-purpose flour. Add a pinch of salt. To this, add 2.5 tablespoons of ghee. So just mix in the ghee. As you mix it with the ghee, you should get a nice crumbly texture. So when you hold it, you can see it's just binding together. So this is a good indication. Now gradually pour a little water and start mixing the dough. Mix the dough so that it's all well combined and it's nice and smooth. You don't want to knead it too much. Just gently mix it all in. Let this sit for about 20 minutes. For the sugar syrup, to the pot add 1 cup of water. Next add 1 cup of sugar. Wait till the sugar dissolves completely. After the sugar syrup is dissolved, boil it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then add half teaspoon of cardamom powder. Add a few saffron strands. This will give you a nice color and flavor. Although the saffron strands are optional, reduce the heat to a low and let it boil for another 5 minutes. So you can see after 5 minutes the syrup is reduced a bit. Turn off the stove. So as the syrup cools down, it will thicken further. So now we're going to make the filling for the Suryakala. I've taken 100 grams of unsweetened koa or koya. Just crumble it roughly. So you can see it's very nice and soft and smooth. To this I'm going to add some chopped nuts. I have a combination of cashew nuts, pistachios and almonds that have been chopped. Next add a pinch of cardamom powder. Add 3 teaspoons of powdered sugar. So now you just mix everything. The filling is done. So I'm just going to divide this filling into small equal size balls. This way when we make the Suryakala, it will be easy. So I'm just going to divide the dough. Roll out the dough ball. So you can see, roll it out. It's not too thin, it's a bit thick. So using a cutter, I'm just going to cut out these circles. This is just to make things a little easier. So you can see, it's a bit thick. It's not too thin. So I'm just going to gently flatten the edges here because we're going to fold it in. So once you've done that, just dab a little water, gently rub it onto the edges. Take a little filling, close the side. Now see, just seal it so it stays intact. So just dab a little water to seal this. So once this is done, now gently start folding it in. So just pinch one side here. You need to use both your hands for this, it's easier, and fold it in. So that's how you make the pleats. Pinch and then fold it in. So I've made all the Suryakalas. Now I'm going to deep fry all of them. For this, take a nice wide kadai, pour enough oil for deep frying. Heat the oil so that it's just warm enough. Keep the flame on low and gently slide in the prepared Suryakala pieces. So you can see as soon as you drop it into the oil, it doesn't bubble up immediately. So you need to cook this on low heat. The Suryakala generally takes a long time to cook because you're going to cook these on low flame. So you have to be a little patient with that. So now you can see the Suryakalas have got a lovely golden brown color. So once you've got this color on both sides, remove from the hot oil and gently slide it into the sugar syrup. And if the sugar syrup crystallizes, don't worry about it. Just heat it a little bit and you can slide them into the warm sugar syrup. Let it soak in the sugar syrup for about 10 minutes so it absorbs all those nice flavors. I'm going to garnish it with some chopped pistachios. You can enjoy these Suryakalas nice and warm. For the Angoori Jamun, I'm going to first prepare the sugar syrup. For this, I've taken 2 cups of water. To this, add 1.5 cups of sugar and add a few cardamom pods. Let the sugar dissolve and let it boil for about 5 minutes. Turn off the stove and keep the syrup aside. For this, I've taken 200 grams of unsweetened koya. Add 3 tablespoons of maida or all-purpose flour. I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, few saffron strands. To this, add 2 tablespoons of milk. Combine it well and knead it till you get a nice soft dough. If the dough seems too sticky, dust it with a little flour so that you get a nice smooth dough. Take a little bit of the dough and start rolling it out into small jamuns. After rolling, just check to see if the jamun balls are nice and smooth. Make sure there are no cracks or wrinkles. Take a kadai, add enough oil. Once the oil is heated, keep the flame on low. Gently drop the jamun balls into the hot oil. Make sure you constantly roll it so it's cooked evenly on all sides. Deep fry it till you get a lovely golden brown color. Remove the cooked jamuns and drop them into the hot sugar syrup. Make sure you soak the jamuns in the sugar syrup for a minimum of 1 hour. Next, I'm going to make the rabri. I've taken 1 liter of full fat milk. Pour it into a nice white saucepan. Reduce the milk to half and make sure you constantly stir it so it doesn't stick to the pan. The milk is reduced into half. You can see there's a lot of cream that's formed. Now I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon cardamom powder, a pinch of saffron. Mix it all together and continue boiling. After 5 minutes, you can see the rabris become nice and thick. Turn off the stove and keep it aside. To serve the jamuns, pour a little bit of the rabri into the serving cup. Place the jamuns. Garnish it with some sliced pistachios and serve it immediately.